beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It is a very cold day in the Crown of Maine and the Great White North up on the Canadian border, but we have the sunshine, and it's deceptive, actually. It's terrible that Mother Nature has deceived us so. Oh my goodness. We have so much deception in the world as it is. To have this happen was really disheartening this morning. We heat on wood, so our house is always about 80 degrees all winter long. It's about 104 in the kitchen in the summer when I have to use my wood cook stove to bake lots of lovely goodies for everybody on the homestead. But today, the sun was shining, the air was warm in the house. I figured, oh well, I'll just throw my overalls on and head outside. I opened the door and that Arctic air blew right up my skirt, so I was not happy first thing in the morning. I think we're up to about 9 degrees right now this afternoon. I went out, opened the barn, cleared off the paddock, insulated it a little bit more with a little more hay for the birds because fact of biology, birds need sunshine to produce the lovely eggs that we so enjoy on the homestead. And they came strutting out. Yes, they did. And I deceived them, and they were not happy. That wind blew right up their feathers. They turned around, hightailed it back inside the house. We may be interrupted. People will be in and out throughout the day. Our wood stove is like the water cooler at your office. Everybody comes in and out to warm up their hands, feet, have a cup of coffee, and complain about the boss lady. Yes, they do. But I don't care how much they complain. I don't care what they say about me. At the end of the day, they all have a hot meal on the table. Their clothes are washed, and I love them all to pieces. So talk away, complain away. These are things that need to be done. Today we are de-icing the homestead, widening up the footpath so I can get to where I need to be when I need to be out there. And, there's a lot of rumblings and grumblings. We do have turkeys at the door, so we may have a little bit of an interruption now and again. You may be able to hear them. I do not want to go for my walk today. It's a procrastination day. It is so cold outside, but I'm going to gear up later and head out and take my walk and get into nature and get some of the burden of the news cycle off my shoulders. Oh my goodness. The cycle in the news, actually, it sucks. It actually does suck. But before we go any further, I would like you to like this video. Give us a thumbs up. Even if it's a pity thumbs up, give it to us anyways. Please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that when I put up long form videos or shorts, the shorts are bloopers. All the mistakes I make during recordings, we cut it all up, we mash it all together, we set it to music, and we put it out there on YouTube for you guys to enjoy. Yes, we do. They are quite funny. I'm a funny lady. What I need is 50 subscribers. Once I have 50 subscribers, I can go live, and this show can be what I want it to be. A conversation with me and you, the audience. Like going to the coffee shop, seeing an old friend at the coffee shop. Hey, how are you? Got your coffee? Sit down, have a conversation, and catch up one-on-one, face-to-face, in real time, instead of these live pre-recordeds. I can riff forever anyways, so the live pre-recordeds don't bother me so much, but I choose the topic, and that's what we stick to. And I want more interaction with my audience, with you guys. And so if we could get me up to 50 subscribers, we can start doing lives and stop becoming a more dynamic channel. It's a new channel, so, things take time. But those are my goals. What are we going to talk today about on Coffee Talk? We're going to talk about Bedford, Ohio. We are going to talk about the metal alloy manufacturing explosion that happened in Bedford. We are going to talk once again about East Palastine, Ohio, and the train derailment. And I did dig up from the archives a story about a town called Times Beach in Missouri that had dioxin sprayed all over their roads, and it became a ghost town in 1985. Let's jump right into the news. It is sad news today. Yesterday, at the I. Schumann and Company metal alloy manufacturing company, there was an explosion. One person has passed away, and 13 have been sent to the hospital. I have no further information on the 13 sent to the hospital, their condition, but we wish them all the best and many, many blessings to them for a speedy recovery. Bedford, Ohio is approximately 70 miles from East Palastine, Ohio. It's about a 1 hour, 17-minute drive. What's going on in Ohio? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes events happen that make me take pause and think a little bit and reflect a little bit as to what could possibly be going on. As for East Palastine, Ohio residents, if you are listening, you need to leave. You need to leave. I know East Palastine is your home. You raise your families there. You've been raised there. You have jobs there, but it is not safe. This is an environmental catastrophe of monumental proportion. I think my belief truly is that we are going to discover that the nonsense of that controlled burn of those railway cars in East Palestine will cause more damage, more catastrophic damage to East Palestine, the town, the community, than anything that we ever have experienced in environmental catastrophes in this country so far. Let me tell you, they generally take and they foam the cars down. They do not dig trenches, let the chems drain into those trenches, and then do a controlled explosion. They don't want the particles of those chemicals in the air. And you know it's bad because Erin Brockovich is on her way to East Palestine this week. And when Ms. Brockovich goes, she was a normal, regular citizen. She is now an environmental underdog people, activist for people who have been harmed by large corporations. Because these corporations covering shit up. Let's just be plain about it. Let's have some plain language here. These corporations cover their asses. They cover their asses. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about the 4,700 plus people that live in East Palestine, that make East Palestine their home, that raise their families there, that have their jobs there, that have their lives there. These big corporations don't care. No big corporation cares about you. They want you to buy their products. They want you to use their services. But the reality is they don't care about you. Now, the train that derailed in East Palestine was carrying vinyl chloride, dioxins, and several unknown chemicals. They don't have a log for some of the chemicals in those cars that were on that train. What happens when there's a problem and vinyl chloride gets released into the environment? Well, vinyl chloride causes cancers such as lymphomas, leukemias, blastomas, and many cancers of the brain. It's, you know, if you own a company and you spill alcohol, it's like you got to have hazmat come in and clean the little gallon of alcohol you spill up, you know? It's one of those things. They detonated train cars that they should have foamed down, okay? They should have foamed these cars down to keep them from getting hot and let things disperse into the air, not blow the damn things up and let the particles go everywhere. Dioxins is an ingredient in Agent Orange. Now here we're going to come to the Times Beach, Missouri story. Times Beach, Missouri had an issue with dioxin and became a ghost town in 1985. April 2nd, 1985, Times Beach, Missouri ceased to exist. 2,242 residents were evacuated after their dirt roads were sprayed with dioxin in 1972. You're talking 13 years after the road was sprayed with dioxin. These residents were told to leave. Their town became a ghost town. In 1972, dioxin was sprayed all over the dirt roads used to keep the dust down. If you live in a rural area, you will understand this. Rural areas, beach communities in rural areas, usually you spray the road, especially when it gets really, really hot because everything gets really, really dusty. And to keep the dust down and, you know, people need to breathe. Rural towns generally spray the roads down to keep that dust down and the roads packed and, you know, keep the potholes from happening and all that. Well, in 72, they used the dioxin to keep the dust down on their roads because they could not fund properly paved roads. The community was too small. They just didn't have the money to pave their roads. April 2nd, 1985, then Mayor Marilyn Lister issued a statement to residents to leave Times Beach immediately. She stated to residents that they were to take nothing. Everything that they owned was contaminated, and no one was ever to return to Times Beach. Take nothing, get out, don't come back. That's what the mayor said. Times Beach had to remove the dioxin from 265,000 tons of soil. It was a $100 million project that never cured the problem. Times Beach became a ghost town overnight. In 1999, the entire town was demolished, bulldozed, and reopened as the Route 66 State Park. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, understand these environmental tragedies affect real people. These people in East Palestine, the residents, you need to get out. I know they trenched the chemicals. The chemicals that leaked out in that trench are going to go through the soil, and they are going to contaminate the water table. This is what happens. There is dioxin in there. And if dioxin made a town in Missouri a ghost town, it will eventually make East Palastine, Ohio, a ghost town. And I don't care what officials are saying. You only have your health in this life. That is the most important thing. And I know for these 4,700 plus residents, East Palestine is their home. They grew up there. They raised their children there. They have their lives there. They bought homes there. They can't afford to leave. But honestly, with what dioxin does, with what vinyl chloride does to your health, you cannot afford to stay either. We really need to pray for the people in East Palestine. We need to pray for the people in Bedford, Ohio, that have been experiencing and affected by the alloy manufacturing company explosion. We need to do a lot of praying. We need to have a lot of spiritual moments in our lives. Things are nuts. Things are getting crazy. I want to know where the president is, where he stands as far as East Palestine, Ohio goes. Why hasn't he done a visit? Why hasn't he done a visit? Why could he go to Ukraine this weekend and not go to East Palestine, Ohio? At least do a dang flyover. Give the people that much respect. Show you care that much. Where are the activists? Why aren't you there? Thank God for Erin Brockovich. Like her, don't like her, I don't care. But she's there and she's going to try to help. She's going to try to do something for the residents because she understands big business, the people you buy your things from, your toys from, go to Walmart, get your things, your food from. They don't care about you. They want you to buy their goods and services, and that's all you're good for. Something stinks in East Palestine, guys. Something's rotten in Denmark. You know, it may be a long time before we find out how tragic East Palestine really is, that environmental situation. Remember, beautiful creatures of the world, carpe diem. Seize today, seize your day, because nobody promises us a tomorrow.